It's time for our monthly Under the Weather segment with you, Kevin.
Yeah, it's kind of a new segment for us, and we're going to do two things today.
Okay.
My friend Rick Smith is the warning coordination meteorologist over in Norman, Oklahoma. And several months ago, he did a webinar about his experience as a consultant on the movie Twisters, which is really cool. So I asked him to join us and talk about that experience, and there'll be a link on our website to his actual presentation. But coming up next month, we have another cool thing, and I wanted to plug it now because it's called Girls Who Chase. And Jen Walton is the person who runs this. And coming up March 1st, she's having an introductory storm chasing webinar. It's an all-day thing. Happens Saturday, March 1st from 10 until 7 p.m. It's online, so you can go and sign up. It's really inexpensive. It's going to be really, really good. But I wanted to plug this because her interview is not going to air until after March 1st. But now we'll hear from my friend Rick Smith and his experience on the movie Twisters. Arguably, the biggest weather event of 2024 didn't even happen in the atmosphere. It happened in the movie theater. You're in the movie, dude.
If for, I think, 3.8 seconds, if you look very quickly, I'm there. But yeah, it was one of the coolest experiences I've had.
How long did that 8.5 seconds take to make?
Let's see, that was, we had to be there at 6 a.m. and I left there at 6 p.m. So it was a 12-hour day.
Oh, no.
Probably literally on the set for 3 of those hours or so. And then, yeah, it's interesting. If you take all of the scenes involving the National Weather Service in the movie, I think it's 1 minute and 25 seconds total or something. Wow. And they had to build an entire office for that.
Rick obviously liked the movie, but his answer to my question about his favorite part was a bit of a surprise.
Honestly, I think one of my favorite parts of the movie, just as a plot point, is the main character's PTSD that she's dealing with. She goes through a traumatic event and then has to come back to Oklahoma and face those fears again. And I think a lot of people don't realize what a issue that this PTSD or critical incident stress can be for meteorologists, not just storm chasers, but forecasters and the National Weather Service, TV meteorologists. So I really liked how they told her story of how this traumatic event happened and then she came back from it and was able to, get back to what her passion was.
The entire movie was shot in Oklahoma, and the filmmakers went to some extra effort, including building a pool that was an important part of one scene.
So they found a motel that was kind of worn down and I don't think it was even open anymore, but they were able to build out that hotel and make it bigger. So they built part of the hotel that would eventually be destroyed by the tornado. And then they actually installed a swimming pool. I don't think you could have put water and swam in it, but it was a swimming pool and they built that for the movie and used it for the filming, and as soon as it was over, they filled it back in, and you drive by there today, you would never have any idea it was ever there.
Rick says the actors were just as dedicated as the crew when he held a severe weather class for them.
Daisy Edgar Jones, who plays Kate in the movie, she sat on the front row right next to Glenn Powell in the middle, and she had a little notebook, and she opened it up and took notes the entire time she was there.
Finally, I asked Rick how many calls from agents he'd gotten after his big acting debut.
Oh, 0, really. 0.
The full interview with Rick is really fun and interesting and is on our website, along with a link to a great in-depth webinar he did on his experience on Twisters. And that's what's happening under the weather. I'm Kevin Selly, News Channel 10.